Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hold On to Dawn podcast. I am your host, Erin. Happy 2026. It is a new year when this episode comes out. It should be January 6th, which is actually my dad's birthday, so that feels kind of poetic, meaningful, symbolic, to have my podcast back up and at 'em. I had one episode, I think it came out in November, it was either right after Thanksgiving. I think it was right after Thanksgiving. And I didn't have an episode in December because I just kind of wanted to focus on closing out the year. But as I mentioned in the previous episode, I had gone to an AFSP event and it kind of motivated me to get back into the podcast world. So I'm excited. It's a new year. I'm going to keep going with at least one podcast a month. Sometimes there might be two. This month is a special month because it is the Orlando Benefit Concert's 1-year anniversary, which is crazy. This time last year, I was recording an episode for the new year of 2025 and talking about how excited I was for the benefit concert that was to come in that same month. And so I did an episode with Johnny. So excited to share that with everybody. That'll be the last week of January. So the Tuesday of the week of the anniversary is when it's going to come out. So January gets 2 episodes because of that. But after that, we might go back to the once a month flow. I'm really excited about a guest that I'm interviewing. That episode will come out in February. And then there's a couple other familiar faces that might be coming back to do podcast episodes. So I'm excited to see what 2026 brings. Hold on till dawn. I had to go back and watch my 2025 New Year episode because I know that I didn't even remember what word I gave myself, which is pretty terrible. So clearly I didn't follow that word throughout the year. But when I watched it, I remembered that my word was goal and I wanted to put my eye on the prize and go for it, which I did do. I did not 1, but 2 benefit concerts. At the time when I made that word, and my word was goal, I had the goal of doing the 1 benefit concert, and then I pushed myself and did a second one in May. So 2 benefit concerts. That was pretty great. And I had amazing podcast guests last year, ones that it was just such an honor to talk to and learn about things from them, and they learned things from me. It was just great to have that connection. So having podcast guests was a goal of mine, and I achieved that, and I'm continuing that into the new year. Another thing I achieved last year was I started volunteering for fan conventions, which brought so much joy. I knew that it was something that I would enjoy because I've been going to fan conventions for years, and it's fun to meet your favorite actors and actresses and also the fans you meet along the way. But I was personally going through a rough time in the fall, and one of the conventions that I went to, all of them really had a monumental impact on me, volunteering and meeting these people. But the one I went to specifically in the fall totally lifted my spirits and changed my entire perception of life, which sounds dramatic, but I just was so low. And then I went and volunteered. I didn't know hardly anybody. I knew 1 or 2 people. And by the end, I felt like I was part of a community. So it was so needed, and it was so unexpected to feel such a heavy weight lifted off of me and be it just filled up my cup is the best way I can describe it. And I made so many new friends this year through conventions, some of them that I see once a month now. And those friendships never would have happened if it weren't for these conventions. So I am so grateful that I was able to do that. And since that volunteering for fan conventions has brought me so much joy, I'm doing it again in 2026. There's already a couple that I have signed up for, so I'm really excited. So looking into 2026, the word I have picked for the year is me. Because I am a people pleaser. I don't like to disappoint people. I am constantly thinking of others. And sometimes I forget to put my needs first. Right now, it's not as difficult to do as it is when I'm in a relationship. When I'm in a relationship, it becomes really difficult for me to put myself first. I always put my partner's needs before mine. And like, quality time is my love language. So that's when I feel the most loved. And it's like, I need to give myself space. I need to give my partner space. So focusing on me is a really important part of my journey for 2026. Not that I'm in a relationship, but just like working on focusing on me so that when I do eventually come to find myself in a relationship, I will be 100% happy and satisfied with who I am. I'm a Libra. A peacekeeper is one of my qualities. So finding the peace within myself is a goal for 2026. And so the goal for the end of the year is to be my own best friend. I have a trip booked for the end of this month that's just for myself, going to a place that I've been wanting to go to for years. I had a trip planned there last year, but then it fell through and it never ended up happening because the person I was going with, it didn't work out. So now I'm like, why am I waiting for someone to go with me? This is a place I wanted to go. I've gone before, but I just have wanted to go back and haven't had the chance because I've been waiting for someone else to go with me. And I'm like, who cares? Go by yourself. You want to go and do all the things you want to do. You don't have to think about what anyone else wants to do. Just do everything you want. So that's what I'm doing the end of the month. My first solo trip just for a vacation. Like I've taken solo trips for conventions or concerts or stuff like that. So this is the first time I'm actually taking a solo trip for like no reason at all, other than this is just a place I want to go. So I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to it. I mentioned in the previous episode that I am also on a mission to do the overnight 2026 walk this year. And that is for me. I'm doing it alone. Nobody else is going to be doing it with me. I will meet people during the walk. I'm not sure of what the estimated turnout usually is for it, but I'm sure thousands of people. So I will meet at least one friendly face, hopefully more. But yeah, I'm not doing it for anyone else except myself. This has been something that I've wanted to do for as long as I've known about it. And in the back of my head, I have always been like, oh yeah, you'll get to it. You'll do it. And I don't really know why, but I've always like had it on the back burner. Like I'll eventually do it. And I've come up with excuses. Like I have work, I have whatever else. And this year, before the year even started, I decided I was doing it. And it's just like it started out as a contemplation and then was like, nope, you're doing it. I don't even know where it is. That will come out probably the week this podcast episode comes out is when they'll share where the walk is. I'm hoping it'll be close to me, but if it's not, doesn't matter. I'm still going. That is something I'm doing for myself. Reading 25 books was a goal of mine for 2025, 25 books in 2025. It was a little bit of an overreach. I got to 21. I started reading the Harry Potter series, and those books just kept getting longer and longer. So I just finished the 5th one, which was over 800 pages. And the 4th one was over 700 pages. So I know, and I think I only read 11 books in 2024. So as a whole, I read more books than I did the previous year. And I definitely read more pages. I didn't do a page-by-page comparison yet, although I think Goodreads probably does do that. And I could maybe even go back and look. Like, let's check that out. In 2025, I read 7,430 pages. And this was actually before I finished the 5th Harry Potter book. So count on another like 800 something pages. So I read over 8,000 pages. That is a lot of reading. So my goal I set for 2026 is, actually, I don't think I said it yet, but I'm going to do the 20 books again. And then if I get over my goal, great. If I get under, I'm going to adjust my goal, because I never want to read on Goodreads again. You did not meet your challenge. No, it's just not worth it. So at the last day, change what your goal is, because you don't want Goodreads to tell you you failed. Finishing my 6th book that I'm writing was a goal of mine for 2025. That did not happen, but I worked hard on it, especially in the summer. I was on a mission after I met with my editor, and I wrote a lot. And then, I don't know, the school year started. I was focusing on other things, and I literally haven't looked at it since the summer, which is horrible. And the last thing she said to me after our meeting was, we'll probably meet in January, right? Because like that's when you're ready to meet again. And in my head, I was like, oh my God, that's so far away. I'm going to have to no, here we are. It's January, and I have to get back to it so that I can write to her and have a meeting in January, I guess. Another goal of mine for 2025 was to take more dance classes. I'm going to be honest, didn't take a single dance class in 2025, but I found more time for myself to dance on my own. And since that was something that was easier for me to do than to actually go out and take a dance class, I'm going to try to continue to do that, because I love dancing by myself with my friends, coming up with choreography that I can feel in my body and execute really is satisfying to me. I'm a dancer. That is one of my ways of expressing emotion. So I'm going to add that to the list of things for me this year, is to just dance for myself. Doesn't need to be anything extreme. I don't need to time it. It doesn't have to be a certain amount of hours a week. I just want to dance more for myself in 2026 because it's something that I enjoy. That is all about 2026 for me. For me. I didn't even mean to say that. It just happened. 2026 is about me, and I'm pretty sure I know who I am. And being single, I was dating, sure, but haven't found a relationship that has been meaningful enough for me to continue. And I was really not focusing on dating in the last half of the year too, because it just wasn't something that I felt like I wanted to do. The couple of dates that I did go on, I was dreading going on them, not for any other reason other than just I don't think it was what I wanted or needed at the time. And I would go on the dates and I'd be sitting there listening to them talk and oh my God, I don't want to be here. I'm not even listening to what they're saying. And so I would go home and just let them know that I would text them and say, this isn't for me right now. And because it wasn't fair to them, it wasn't fair to me to continue to try to date when it was something that just wasn't serving me at the time. So I'm still not on any dating apps. I'm not looking for anything at the moment, but I'm hoping that after my solo trip, I feel more comfortable with myself and I want to take a step back into the dating world and put myself out there for someone else to find because I don't want to get too comfortable with being alone, because I definitely don't want to be alone forever. I do want a partner eventually. It's just that I noticed within myself that dating was not something I was enjoying. It was not something I felt ready to do. And It's been over a year that I've been single. It's been like a year and a half now. And some people might think that that's a long time. Some people might think that's not a lot at all. But I just know in my body what felt right for me and what does feel right. So I'm not actively searching, but if something were to come to me, I would not shove it away. And again, I will reassess as the year progresses. But right now, focusing on me, because the most important relationship in your life is the one you have with yourself. So that's the one that needs to be your number one priority. And so that is what my focus is for 2026. I read today that last year was the year of the snake, and this year is the year of the horse, the fire horse to be specific. So it's like ambition, passion, going after things you want, which fits me, going after things that I want. And thinking of the year of the snake, it's kind of like you're shedding a skin, you're starting fresh, new beginnings. So I am kind of leaning in towards that because that feels right. So to wrap it up, 2026, my word of the year is me, and I'm happy where I am, and I'm looking forward to traveling to where I want to go and where I want to be and who I want to be. So think about your word for 2026. What are your goals? It doesn't have to be something big. It can be something super small, like finishing a book, going to a concert, going out with a friend, anything you want. The world is your oyster. You can accomplish amazing things. Just put your mind to it and believe in yourself. And with that, I will see you guys in a couple weeks with Johnny, our episode celebrating the 1 year Hold On Till Dawn Orlando benefit concert. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. It was really fun catching up with him. We haven't seen each other since May. And between January and May, we were talking like almost every day. And then the second half of the year, it's just both of our lives got so crazy. So I'm hoping I get to see him this year. But it was fun to connect again and talk. So I'm excited for you guys to hear it. Thank you so much for listening. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Our website is holdontilldawn.com and our email is holdontilldawn@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at holdontilldawn and on Facebook at Hold On Till Dawn Benefit Concert. See you next time.